Hi guys, Drew with Because Jitsu. We're going to be going over some Kesa Gatame escapes or scarf holds. So it's a position from side control or a variation on side control that often gets used for the person on top when typical side control isn't working. Some people, especially judoka, they really prefer this because a lot of their throws end up in Kesa Gatame. It's a great pinning position. Side control tends to pin chest to chest, whereas Kesa Gatame is more like rib cage to chest. It adds a different sort of direction to the pin, but it's powerful and it's super frustrating on bottom. But I'm going to show you my go-to escape with a couple good variations on it that should help you get out of that situation on bottom. And what's even better is you end up in the same situation on top. All right, so we're in scarf hold right now, or Kesa Gatame. Like I was saying, the power of this pin for my partner on top is putting his rib cage into my diaphragm or chest and pinning me to the ground. Oftentimes, if he started in side control, right here, and I start framing and re-guarding, they're gonna switch their hip so that I can't bring this re-guarding leg in. That's typically why somebody's gonna make this switch. Like I said, there's other reasons you might be here, but this is where you'll find it most often when you're trying to escape out of the bottom. So when we're here, I'm going to look for a couple things to hit this escape, and I'll show you why I do it and why they work. Right now he's in what's called a broken Kesa Gatame, or a broken scarf hold, where his hands aren't attached to each other. Okay, that's going to be a difference depending on what we're going to do for our escape. This is typically where I find myself in bottom scarf hold, is a broken one. For jiu-jitsu purposes, a lot of times they want this underhook under here. For judo, they're going to be underhooking the head right here commonly. And that affords jiu-jitsu guys routes to the back if they can clear this, whereas getting that underhook here stops any type of back take. So typically in jiu-jitsu, you're going to see this one quite often for those reasons. Now what I want to do is I'm going to take this arm over here that's the most free. This one's the most trapped, and he can isolate and start attacking, so keep that in mind. I'm going to use this free arm to come cross body, and I want to put like a C-cup grip right into his inner elbow. So my thumb goes down, and I cup like that. My arm's gonna go completely straight at this point, and it's gonna stay straight for the rest of the technique. Do not let this bend. If it bends, I lose all my power and I'm back to square one. So once I get that in, it stays in and it stays straight, okay? So here's what we're gonna do now that we've got this right here, is I'm going to walk my legs that direction, towards his head. Because right now, if you think about it, if Alvin is a branch right now, I've got like a branch coming off this way that I can't roll. It hits the ground right here. But if I turn it and take that away, not only am I building a void to get him into, but now there's no encumbrance to stop me from making that barrel roll. So as I'm doing that, as I'm moving my legs out of the way to put him into that space, this is actually going to push him backwards. And I just get to sit up into my own Kesa Gatame or scarf hold. So again, I'm going to cup, get that arm nice and straight, walk my feet away until we're nice and straight in line, and then just sit up into side control or Kesa Gatame scarf hold for this particular drill. It's a good one to drill because you can just go back and forth with your partner and get a lot of reps in that way. So when you're rolling with somebody who's seen this one before, maybe they like to use this one and they understand what's happening, there's a few things that they're going to do to try to take this away. Probably the most intuitive one that is going to come along, either they know how to do this or they just figure it out because they know where the danger is once I get this straight arm, I've got to walk my legs away and he's just going to follow me. And we can go in circles all day. I'm never going to be able to get that straight line to be able to tip him up. So what I'm going to do, let's come back a little bit, is as I'm walking away and he's following, I'm going to jam this arm elbow down to the ground. And then as he's coming this way, I'm going to time it and jam my own leg underneath him. Okay, so he kind of backs himself onto this wedge that I've placed. This arm now makes a frame or a wall in front of his hips so he can't come off of my wedge, being my leg that's underneath. And I can use that leg and this arm to just tip him up and over, coming up into either a reverse side control, or you can turn while it happens into your own Kesa Gatame. So again, I get my arm here and I'm walking and he's following, so I jam this one down. And as he's backing up, I bring that leg that's on the ground near him underneath as a wedge. This one again is already where it needs to be to block him from coming back up. And I just need to tip him with this like a butterfly lever that direction while keeping this one straight, and over he comes. Ta-da. It's a very nice way to make his action work for you. All right, let's talk about closed Kesa Gatame now. So he's got his hands connected here. It affords him the same pin, that rib to chest pressure. Like I said, there are back take possibilities for me on the bottom that he has to be aware of, but what it doesn't allow me to do is get my cross arm over to the bicep to get that straight arm that I need to start backing him backwards as I move away. So what I'm gonna do instead is, first things first, I wanna make sure this arm is safe, okay? Sometimes it gets trapped up here like this, it's not good for me. I'm out of position, he can start hitting head and arm chokes, a lot of things that are dangerous for me here. I wanna jam that elbow down to hide my arm, but it also puts it right by the lapel I need, which is the one on the outside of his body here. I'm going to feed this one over to my opposite hand that's busy doing nothing over here. And when I do it, I'm not just gonna flip it over and grab. The grab isn't what I want. What I want is maximum tension. So to do that, when I have this here, I'm gonna straight arm really high and pass it off. You can even do this a couple times to get extra maximum pressure right here. Now this affords me the same directional pressure that I had from that straight arm as I start backing away. So now we can do the exact same thing we did with a closed Kesa Gatame as we did with the open one, where I can either walk my legs away, and if he doesn't follow, I come up, or I walk my legs away and he does follow, and I put him onto that lever and come up to the top. All right, guys, so there you go. It's my favorite way to get out of Kesa Gatame bottom. This has worked marvelously for me. I like to actually bait people when they're in side control to switch to Kesa so I can get that escape. If they flip into scarf hold on me, it's kind of like I get a breath of relief knowing I'm going to get out now. So it is that effective. I'm not kidding. This one's going to work really well for you if you practice it. And like I said, this is a good one to drill with your partner. You can go back and forth, just reversing from Kesa Gatame top to bottom, and get a lot of good repetition on the feel of it and the tipping action and the time to come up. And trust me, you're going to work this one into your game and you're going to love it. So hope that works as well for you as it does for me. If you got any questions or comments, feel free to drop them. Make sure to subscribe to see future videos. We'll see you then.